music is super loud or not, but we're just going to go ahead and start a new game. Welcome, everybody, to the Miskatonic. New game, let's do it. Maybe we'll have an option to turn down the volume. Probably not. Just going to do it on my computer then. Okay, Marie Peanut Butter. Bonjour, we children. My name is Marie Peanut Butter, head of occult science at the Miskatonic University. Ours is the most prestigious institution of dark magic, the occult, and all the strange ghoulies that live in your peripheral vision. I'm here today to tell you a story about a little girl that ruined everything. But ruining everything gives you the opportunities to make everything better. Oui. What's that, you ask? What's that, you ask, why I have a giant hand sticking out of my head? Well, that is because I am French. It is a thing we have, so no funny business, oui. You'll learn about the strange things people are afflicted with throughout the story. After this, you'll think my hand head is cute and adorable, as you should. But first, let me describe to you the state of the world, prior to the witch girl that ruined everything. Do not fret, you probably know this already, oui. So, you are aware of the giant aliens that we call gods, and the cultists that worship them, no? But let me tell you. Some worship Cthulhu, the giant man-octopus dragon thing. His cults teach eternal patience, waiting for Cthulhu to come back to them so he can destroy the world. Rude. Some worship Yog-Sothoth, the outer-dimensional god of knowledge. These smarty brains try to build portals to let him come here, but that would destroy the world too. Not so smarty. Most humans, like our witch girl, worship Shub-Niggurath, known as the All-Mother. Even cultists for other gods will pray to Shub-Niggurath at the end of their spells and rituals. That's because Shub-Niggurath is the goddess of humanity. Her cults preach love and compassion among everyone. Very lovely. But, like our witch girl, some can be blinded by their desire for harmony. There are some that will take advantage of the naive notion that all humans are loving and good. Not so lovely. Okay, so you know of gods now, we. So let's talk a small bit about the humans of the world. Some countries may have been more affected than others by the strange happenings of the universe. For example, in Canada, Yetis. Oh shit. Okay, that makes sense. Thousands of them. But the Canadians are well prepared. Yeti invasions are considered a national pastime. Bring the family, we'll shoot some Yetis. This is what us French call an English person. Note the sharp teeth, purple blush, and big ugly face. A couple decades ago, it was discovered that a huge percentage of the English nobility were actually cannibals, breeding humans in underground caves like livestock. Everyone in England went crazy when it was found out, so now they're all cannibals too. Apparently the Scottish just found it hilarious. This one is also my boyfriend, so not touching his ugly face, these little fellers are called Australians. When the Shoggoths left Antarctica, they came across a big island filled with lovely, delicious humans. But these humans didn't want to be devoured, and even when half dissolved in the Shoggoth bellies, the humans would punch and kick and smash baubles inside them, making the Shoggoths very uncomfortable. So instead of trying to eat them, the Shoggoths formed this cute little symbiotic relationship with the Australians, granting them immortality in exchange for less punching, so the little Shanes and Sheilas can happily booze and barbecue away for all eternity. That's nice. This is called an American. Note the silly haircut and gigantic bum. Specifically, this is the American that our story revolves around, the little witch girl that ruined everything. How can you tell she's a witch? Why, there are many clues. Example, the pasty skin, a symptom of spending her days asleep and her nights dancing naked in the rain with her coven to conjure strange hexes. Also the little black choker thing. It's the closest thing to a uniform they get. Also, she doesn't wash. Charlotte LeStrange. Are you going to make me look like a dumbass in this story? Because it was only like 20% my fault. Our story begins with our smelly dumbass being briefed on the university's secret protocols, after just being hired as a security guard for the occult science building. But on her first assignment, she discovers that all is not as it seems at the prestigious school. Thanks. Nutsack. Bob. Now, Miss LeStrange, you understand that as a security agent, your off-site assignments are to be kept in the strictest confidence, even from other members of faculty, and especially the students. Aha. You also understand that as a security agent, you'll be in very real danger, both from physical harm and mental corruption. You understand that your body is subject to mutation at any point during your employment and residence in Arkham. Rad. And finally, you understand that as a University of Occult Science, you are obliged to assist us with research regarding your supposed magic eyes, and failure to comply will result in your immediate dismissal. Sure. Well then, Miss LeStrange. Welcome to the Miskatonic University. Awesome. Johnny LeGrasse. You must be the new security guard, Charlotte, right? Yep, that's me. Great, I'm Johnny, head of internal security. I'll be giving you a tour of the building. You'll be patrolling, then I'll show you to your quarters. Ready to go? Sure. Well, you'll be working here in the occult science building. You're a witch, right? Have you dabbled in any occult science? Well, I'm pretty good at the occult stuff, though mostly I use it for errands and favors for folks. Plus a few hexes, curses, blights, just to keep up that witchy appearance. Blood into jam, bones into sponge cake, cat into mush. Phallus into tiny screaming vestigial face. Normal stuff. Well, we do things a little differently here. This way. Awesome. This is the Ethereum, where our students can perform experiments on the Necronomicon. The creature acts as a shield to the outside world, keeping any experiments sterile and quarantining any unexpected summonings. Hi. Hello. We didn't know it could do that. Did you try talking to him? Clearly not. You're going to provide some much needed common sense around here, Charlotte. The building also houses the Corporeum, a surgical theater where our students can perform vivisections and autopsies on otherworldly creatures. Speaking of which, this is Eddie, one of our monster hunters. Thanks to him, our Corporeum professors have been able to gather more information on living horrors than any other time in university history. Crazy Eddie. The trick is to figure out where its face is and then commence repeated punching. Who's the new girl? This is Charlotte LeStrange, a witch from the Chisuncook Coven. She'll be working security for this building. Hi. Looking after us rascals, eh? Well, just give me a clip around the back of the head if you see me slacking off, and I'll get back to work, eh, big stuff? I've been known to whip some ass with my big muscles. There you go. Come around the chop shop. You want to see what me and the lads wrangled up the other day. You witches like nightmares, right? Sure. Well, the fun ones anyway. Like when your teeth fall out and you smooth them off with sandpaper to make a lovely necklace. Or when you're running down a corridor in slow motion with a bunch of hands coming out of the carpet and grabbing your ankles, and you finally stop to ask them what they want, and it turns out your shoelaces were untied, and they were just super concerned for your safety. Or when you're at school and you stand up in class but you forgot your pants and you're embarrassed but everyone compliments your butt. Well, you're a bloody weird one, Charlotte, so you'll fit right in here. Don't let my sister catch wind of you. She won't leave you alone. You telling stories like that. And here's a curator of the Corporeum, Miss Marie Peanut Butter. She used to be a voyage shaman from Paris before coming to work with us. As fun as satisfying the void is, my true passion lies in discovering how things work, at least when they are dead. Groovy. What's a void shaman? You know those dark thoughts you have sometimes for seemingly no reason? The ones that tell you to jump when at the edge of a cliff, or rob the bank when cashing a paycheck, or drop-kick a grandma through a stained-glass church window at a funeral? Oh yeah, I get those all the time. Well, those are not your thoughts. A few hundred years ago, the French aristocracy's way of life was so decadent and whim-filled, their unbridled sauciness only went and summoned a bloody hedonism god. Damn thing lives under the Paris catacombs, communicates telepathically with people all over the world, urging them to give in to their darkest whims. The French get it the worst, of course, so these shamans take it upon themselves to do the dark deeds, so the rest of France doesn't have to. Must be a right giggle. My last act as a shaman before coming here, I took my clothes off, covered myself in lemon cake and green food coloring, and terrorized the local village as a delicious swamp monster. I quite enjoyed that one. Shall we press on with the tour? Sure. Bye, guys. So, not to be rude, but judging from the bandaged-up arms and the sick eye scar and the terror lines in your hair, I'm getting the impression that security work here is, a little dangerous. Oh no, not for you at least. The occult science building is probably the safest on campus. Ginny Tennick. Because if something went wrong in this building, we'd all be too dead to notice. Don't listen to her. She's just a little jealous that the new girl gets the cushy gig while she's stuck in the math department. What happens in the math department? What doesn't happen in the math department? There's nothing so cold, so unforgiving, so dark as the mathematicians. The universe is not but an equation. They shriek behind their burnt hair and sludge-tainted cardigans, one that can be solved. But how do you solve the equation of a dozen screaming children being ingested by a black swirling chasm of teeth and clawing hands opened at the far end of the classroom by one of their damnable equations? Damn you, young Henry. Carry that damn too. So let's carry on with the tour. Next up is the library. Awesome. Each building hosts a small library dedicated to researching and documenting the subject that the building students are studying. Here in the Occult Science Building, we keep an original copy of the Necronomicon, as well as translated copies for our foreign exchange students. That's a lot of knowledge. And here's our librarian. Charlotte, meet Miss Emily Saccharin. Hulu Blue. Hi, I love your mask. I didn't know you guys had a Shoggoth here, and a tame one too. Oh, Emily isn't a Shoggoth. She just had a small accident with the Necronomicon a while ago. Ended up like this. But our occult scientists learned an awful lot about what happens with these tomes of black knowledge when you spill your soy no whip ice caramel macchiato 2 shots hazelnut on them. Huh, sure looks like a Shoggoth. Purple, gooey, moderately adorable, with a hint of terrifying. Well, that's a Necronomicon for you. It's funny. Spilling a non-fat frappuccino with extra whipped cream and chocolate sauce just turns you into a puddle of loose bones and blood. Still, hasn't stopped Emily from performing her duties, eh, Emily? Fuyuju. Shall we press on? Okay, nice to meet you, Emily. Charlotte, this is Lizzie of Dunwich, our Yog-Sothoth consultant. She's taught us quite a lot about the outer dimensions during her time here. Lizzie, Charlotte's the new security witch. Are you the sort of witch that does the Decade in the Rain, or the sort of witch that does the Lucky Charms and the big hats? The rain kind. You and me are gonna get along, ish. So, like, how come I can't... What are you? I'm a Lizzie. What are you? No, I mean, why do you look like a shadow? Or like part of my eyeball has stopped working? It's because humans can't see because they's all afraid of me and my sister's appearances. Everything else can see me, so my doggies are all tuck tails whenever I go near them. Lizzie is an example of a mental phenomenon found only in humans known as cerebral voiding. It's a trick by the brain to preserve the sanity of its carrier. When a person comes across sights too horrible to comprehend, their brain refuses to render it, instead showing a black silhouette in place of the sight itself. Essentially, instead of Lizzie's insanity-inducing true form, your brain is protecting you by showing you a shadow instead. But I saw that interviewer no problem. The guy whose face was just teeth and gums, and the girl with the hand sticking out of her head, and Emily the librarian. Yep, Lizzie and her dumb witchian sisters are in a league of their own when it comes to horrific appearances. We sent a lot of students to the asylum trying to figure her own. That is awesome. Yes. Here's our head of catering, Mrs. Roth. She can cook anything with 3 or more legs. Yum, hi. Oh, look at you witches, all skin and bones. You just let one of my little gremlins know what fills your tum, and I'll whip it right up. Nutty Annie. What's the humanitarian dish for today? D from accounting, my dearest. Ooh, pork sandwiches, lum. We employ a small staff of cannibals from England, Eddie in the Corporium and Annie being 2 of them. They only eat fresh, accidental deaths, with the family's consent. Usually. Oh, I get it. Humanitarian. This is funny. Well, once you're done with Johnny's little tour, let me know and I'll make you breakfast. You're making her into breakfast? Let me have the ours portion. We'll make steak and kidney pie. Big ol' witch rump. You ain't eating no rump steak, Annie. Your little hoard's got poor old Dave. Oh, come on. At least let me have your ugly feet, eh? Nice and lean, covered in flavor, and you're entirely useless. Look at them, all the way down there. When I'm done with them. Great. Let me get a little appetizer, eh? Little lick between the toesies, pre-munch snacklet, how about it? Don't encourage her, dear. She'll be crawling all over me till your feet fall off. My bad. Speaking of cannibals. Good morning, Miskatonic. It's your favorite morning announcer, Mindy in the Morning, bringing you all the Miskatonic morning announcements as and when I see fit. It's currently 2:30 in the afternoon, so let's get started. Those of you students that have volunteered for the submerged necromantic mutation testing has unfortunately been called off by Professor Baxter on the grounds that the school's swimming pool is now alive. Lunch today will be turgid and depressing. And would the owner of a white child please report to the reception office? It is currently being towed. What was that? That's Mindy, the morning announcer. Does she do that a lot? Perpetually. You seem pretty comfortable around this stuff, Charlotte. Well, I grew up in Maine. Not as many mutated folks, but they make up for it with all the goofy supernatural happenings. Chasm. Hey, Johnny. Thirst has been looking for you. Thanks, Chasm. Come on, Charlotte. I gotta make a quick stop-off. What happened to her? Oh, that's Chasm, one of our portal diver team. They usually work out of Dunwich, coming back to write reports on their expeditions. When they come back, of course. So, let me make a quick stop and I'll show you to your room. Dr. Thirst Valentine. Ah, Johnny, so this is the strange girl, the crumbler, the ruiner. Wow, look at this guy. I like how your coat melts into the floor. Yep, this is her, Charlotte. This is Dr. Thirst Valentine, the head of occult science and the discoverer of residual evil. His work taught the university about the lingering nature of documenting malicious entities. Essentially, he figured out why seemingly innocuous writings can summon horrific creatures or cast terrible curses. It is why the books bleed. That's cool. I had a book that kept growing teeth and screaming and whatnot. It was my diary, though. Excellent. I shall inform my colleagues of your arrival. We will merrily indulge in the popped corn. Ta-ta. I like him. You know, you've come highly recommended, Charlotte. Oh yeah? By who? Charlotte Rumman Fletcher. I can't believe they finally hired my tiny baby monster. Rumman, what are you doing here? Got me some gainful employment, teaching kids about old school dark magic. None of this occult science in my class. What have they got you teaching? Oh, you know, I'm in security, keeping folks safe, wandering the halls, swinging a comically large keychain, bopping folks on the head with a flashlight, top secret missions, stuff like that. Pretty on point hiring selection, if you ask me. Yeah, safety. That's definitely a key word when I think of Charlotte LeStrange and her magic eyeballs. Hey, those cats turned inside out on their own. I sneezed. Hushed your gums. Well, speaking of cosmic abominations, I gotta go teach a bunch of 18-year-olds how to turn blood into peanut butter by dancing in the rain. You're gonna love it here, Charlotte. The Miskatonic is just one big, like-minded community, all working towards making the world a better place, just like our coven. Come find me when you got some time off. There was nothing cosmic about them, Rumman. They were just cats with their bones on the outside. They got better. So you two are in some kind of cult? Sort of. We're witch cultists of Shub-Niggurath. Essentially, we believe that since the universe is filled with crazy, awful bullshit, the humans should be nice and loving to each other. Some of us, like the Cult of the Black Sun, have these awesome bake sales for their neighbors, whereas others, like the Cult of Loveliness, hunt and slaughter encroaching monsters to protect their hometowns. We're sort of like the Goth Girl Scouts. What about you witches? We take all our clothes off and dance in the rain. Typical witchy stuff, but we use black magic to do nice things for the townsfolk. Body snatching, breach birth babies to make them crawl out of their mom, summon and fix their pixies when a guy's leg falls off, using transmutation circles as portals for when the trash collectors want a week off. Stuff like that. Wait a minute. The Cult of the Black Sun do bake sales. And the Cult of Loveliness are monster hunters. What does the Cult of Kill, Murder, Death plant gardens or something? Oh, you mean the Cult of Fetid Retribution. No, those guys deliver meals to old ladies. And what was that about magic eyes? Oh, don't worry about that. I just do this. Yep, that's very on point. And sometimes weird stuff happens in people's minds. Usually they forget something or get an eye twitch. As long as I don't use it on little animals, it's pretty harmless. Okay, so let's keep going. This is your room, a little tight, but the lunch ladies bring us security guys breakfast every day. I'll let you get settled, then you can explore your patrol route until Bob gives you your first assignment. It's perfect. Thanks, Johnny. Okay, I better go familiarize myself with my patrol route. Hello again, it's time for a quick tutorial, Lee. You're about to enter what's called Patrol Mode, wherein you're allowed to freely investigate the occult science building. Use your mouse to click characters to initiate conversations or doorways to move to other places in the building. Charlotte's patrol will always start here outside her room. And if you want to save the game, hit the little cog in the bottom right of the screen. Give it a try. Bottom right, eh? Don't forget to visit me at the Corporium, Lee. Staff dormitories. Please report all breakages, spillages, corpses, interdimensional terrors, and unattended viscera to a member of janitorial staff. They are appropriately trained in sanitation, body disposal, quantum physics, and mild voodoo. Just gonna save the game here. Empty save slot. Boom. Did that work? Yes. Okay. I am going to leave this here because this game is obviously a bit more of a visual novel than an actual video game. It requires a lot of talking, and I don't know how much of that I have in me for right now, tonight. But, oh, yeah, there's the alarm outside telling me that I need to move my van for fucking snow clearing because it's the middle of February and there was like a snowstorm last week. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this preliminary installment of the Miskatonic. We wanted to actually play this game for a really long time, so I'm glad I'm finally doing it. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.